Hi guys and welcome back to SwitchUp. Today we have our upcoming games list, thank goodness, there's some good ones coming this week, and they are going to be ranked from best to worst.
Yep, as you may remember, we gave this one a miss last week because, let's be fair, it was a bunch of absolute crap that come out. So yeah, some decent ones this week. Let's jump in, shall we?
The first game is called Skulls of the Shogun Bonafide Edition, and it's launching at 50% off. The RRP is supposed to be £17.99, but I was just saying to Glenn, I've got a bit of a theory that they're just going for the let's get to the top of the sales charts. Do you know what I mean? £8.99 seems a bit more reasonable for what this is. It describes itself as a fast-paced, turn-based strategy game, and well, that's exactly what it looks like from the trailer. We weren't overly sure if this was a mobile port, so maybe you can let us know down in the comments, and by all accounts, Eurogamer really liked it. What do you reckon about this one, Glenn?
Yeah, as far as I can see, it's your traditional turn-based, as you say, where you have to kill the general of the other side to win the round. It looks decent, but it does definitely have a mobile taste to it.
Okay, and the next game on our list, I think you're introducing, aren't you, Glenn?
Right, coming in at number 9 for this week, then we have Senran Kagura Peach Ball. Now, I've played the Senran Kagura, mainline games, which are beat 'em ups, and I actually enjoyed those. I thought they were pretty decent games. They were good beat 'em up games. I have played one of the spin-offs, which was a bizarre cooking game that was on the Vita. It was alright, I suppose, for what it was. This very much falls into the latter category of spin-off, so it's pinball, apparently, although you don't see any pinball in the trailer at all. See a whole bunch of boobs, but no pinball. I don't know. I like pinball. Boobs are alright, I suppose. Win.
It's a pinball game. Oh man, could have fooled me. Alright, next game on the list and coming in at number 8 is a game called Metaloid Origin, which looks to be a side-scrolling platformer in the vein of a Mega Man title. Yes, it does have the pixel art that many of us are getting a little bit fatigued by, and to be honest, we saw it and just kind of sighed a little bit.
This does look decent. When Mega Man style games are done well, they're very, very Moorish. They have that quick death and back in again. It's just whether this one pulls it off, I suppose. But it's only, what, £8.99 was it? Well, yeah, single player only, but to be fair, so were the Mega Mans back in the day. For £8, £9, $10, whatever it is, I think you could do worse.
Coming in at number 7 is a game called Dead in Vinland True Viking Edition from Plug-in Digital. Now, this gives me real Banner Saga nostalgia, and it looks to be a survival management game where you take on a Viking family trying to build up and survive in a small new settlement. I like the look of this a lot. It does look very interesting. We weren't too sure at first, but after watching the trailer, I'm much more intrigued. It looks like there's quite a lot of intricacy to what you can actually do when managing your settlement. The only thing that's slightly concerning is that rather high price of $24.99.
Yeah, also you made an interesting point, Mark, that there's not a trailer for this on the eShop, is there? We had to go online to find it, and actually once we watched it, it looked pretty decent. So it's just very strange they don't add trailers onto the eShop. It's very bizarre.
And alone. If we were lucky. It meant more mouths to feed. This island was hiding bigger threats than we could ever imagine. Why did the gods let us live?
Okay, next up then we have a game called Blazing Chrome. Now, Mark, you know me, I'm a simple man with simple pleasures. I see a pixelated game that plays like Contra for a decent price, and I salivate all over my shoes. Now this looks good. You have the pixelated art style, which I know Mark's just said about, but when it's done right, as we've already said, it looks really good. This has that futuristic look about it. You can almost imagine this taking place in the Terminator universe. As I said, it looks very much like Contra, and at £15, $20 odd I would have thought, I think this might be worth taking a punt on.
Coming in at number 5, we have the unusually named Nelly Cootalot, The Foul Fleet. And obviously it's a point and click, it has to involve some pirates, and it does, but also what I enjoyed about this one is how well written it is. Some of these games just try a little bit too hard. Add in the quite good visuals, they are really nice, they're well hand painted. I wouldn't say they were the best I've ever seen, not nearly as good as something like Curse of Monkey Island. There are just some really nice scenes in there nonetheless. You follow Nelly as she goes about trying to stop an evil pirate. Wonder where they got that story from. Good game though, I think you might enjoy this one, I'm hoping to review it.
I know not what he's plotting, but I foresee many innocent birds be perishing.
Birds hate perishing.
We are going to lay siege to Gloomholm and defeat the Ptarmigan hordes.
But I'm not dressed for a siege.
Go, Nelly. You must stop my treacherous brother.
And now we join the fearsome Nelly.
Right, coming in at number 4 then, we have Streets of Rogue. Now, I'll be honest, when I heard the title for this one, I very much assumed it was going to be a beat 'em up, but it seems to be a mix of genres, doesn't it? You have twin stick shooting in there are some roguelike elements, I'm led to believe. It has RPG elements thrown in as well, and appear to have, although I might be wrong, an arena-based element. It has 1 to 4 player and online too, and according to the blurb, has specific missions and goals that you need to achieve in order to move on.
Yeah, there's been a bit of a buzz about this game online actually. I think in the wake of Enter the Gungeon, which has obviously had its final patch update, and incredible game, people are looking for the next big thing, and I've definitely seen a lot of comments about people saying, oh, I can't wait for this one. And with the online play as well, maybe this is going to be the one to fill that void. Off the back of some big releases like Terraria this week, we have Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is about £50 on the eShop launching this week. But the thing with these types of games, like the Minecraft if you will, are oftentimes there just isn't enough focus. With Dragon Quest Builders, they rectified that by including a quite strong story structure in there, and being able to play online with many of your friends as well. This is a life eater if ever I've seen one.
Yeah, I can well imagine that a lot of people would have this as their number 1, and I could certainly understand why. I like these games, I do, but they don't keep my attention for long enough. I don't know, I don't have the imagination or the motivation to keep on playing after the first couple of hours. But published by Nintendo, I'm sure it will do very well. Right, coming in at number 2 then, this might be a surprise to some people, but my pick would be Soul Seraph. Now the reason I picked this game is it reminds me very much of a Super Nintendo game that came out a long time ago now called ActRaiser. Now as far as I'm understanding this, having had a look at it, it's a mix of platformer and city building sim, very much like the aforementioned ActRaiser. Other than ActRaiser, actually I can't think of another game that's ever blended those two genres together, and it works very well in that game. At $11.99, at $11.99 or your regional equivalent, I think this is well worth trying. Similar to Streets of Rogue, this is another one I've heard a few people talking about, and I think this will do very well actually.
So that brings us on to the number one, and I guess it would be my number one for the week. So number one for us this week is a game called God Eater 3 from Bandai Namco, and it looks to be a little bit of a love letter to our favourite series of all time, Monster Hunter. You can join up to 3 friends online or locally to hunt down and destroy many different monstrous gods. And to me, this combat looks a little more fluid than the traditional Monster Hunter generations that we're used to playing, maybe a little bit more like the recent Monster Hunter release. Let us know down in the comments, because I've not played this series at all. I'm guessing it's based on an anime, but from what I can see in the comments and general buzz around the game, this is one that you should definitely download the demo if you're a fan of Monster Hunter and see if this is going to be a game to pick up.
Yeah, just one thing to bear in mind about demos. I remember playing the demo for Monster Hunter and it was a terrible representation. Yeah, it was a really bad representation of the game. So I'm not saying this one is, I've never played this series at all, but it's just maybe something to bear in mind that sometimes these games don't translate very well to a demo. Anyway, that's us done for this week. That's our 10. Please do let us know if there's anything you're looking forward to this week. Are you picking any of these games up? Do you agree with our list? Do you disagree? Let us know down below, please.
A huge thank you to all the patrons and the people that support us on the channel. We are creeping towards, well, we're kind of running at a gentle trot towards 40,000 subscribers, which is amazing. We couldn't be more thankful. And just a reminder that in the next review on the channel, we'll be giving away that free game. So make sure you're subscribed. For all things Switch all the time, keep it Switch up.
Lovely stuff. Okay, yep, take care. And until next time, happy gaming.
Cheers, guys. See ya.